Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a lovely day. If you are new here, hi, I'm Charlotte. I make videos about minimalism and decluttering, capsule wardrobing, no buys, and a few other bits and pieces. So if that's something you're interested in, please consider subscribing and I'll see you around in a few videos. It's 2021. How did we get here? It's time to talk about no-buy rules, again, starting right from the beginning. So if you have no idea what I'm on about, last year I did a no-buy challenge for the whole year. I will link my original rule setting video, just bear in mind it was the second video I ever made and I was extremely camera shy, so well, you can judge for yourself. But anyway, last year I did a no-buy for 2020 where I limited a lot of areas in my life in which I was able to spend money. If you're new to the idea of a no-buy, it is where for a fixed period of time you stop buying things, usually in particular categories, and people generally set their own rules for this. So last year my particular focuses were on clothes, makeup and household items. I'm going at it again for another year into 2021, but I am changing up my own rules slightly based on what I learned doing it last year. Let me know down in the comments if you are doing a no-buy this year. Is it your first year or have you been doing it for longer? What are your priorities in terms of cutting back your spending, and do you have any particular goals for the year? Let me know. So firstly, the thing that always needs mentioning is obviously bills. I can pay my bills. I don't need to talk about that. I feel like I'm saying the same thing that I said last year, but obviously you have to pay for the essentials that you need to live. So your mortgage or your rent, your utilities. Some people have different things in this one which they consider to be essential. So some people would argue your mobile phone contract or your cell phone contract is an essential. Some people wouldn't. Currently I pay £9 a month for my phone because I paid off the handset. I had a 30-month contract which I then exceeded but continued to use the same phone. So then I only ended up paying for calls, texts and data, which costs me £9 a month, which is lovely. But it's entirely up to you if you want to include things that are, I would say, that we consider to be essential, but when you think about it, it might not actually be. Like water. Water is essential. A roof over your head is essential. A mobile phone might not be, or your Netflix subscription might not be. So choose what you will with this. I'm not going to make any alterations to any bills that I currently pay or any direct debits that are currently coming out of my bank. So for example, I could argue that having contact lenses isn't essential. I could cope with my glasses, but I'm not going to go ahead and cancel my contact lens direct debit just for the sake of this challenge. No, they're not an essential, but I'll be keeping them. Likewise, if I decide to upgrade my phone over the course of the year, I'm going to just consider that within my bills. I don't know if I will upgrade my phone because it is surviving just fine, but if it gets to the point where I need a new one, you know, I've paid off that handset. I'm not going to begrudge myself a new one. Next is household, and I feel like I need to go even more strict on this one this year than I did last year. Last year I basically said no household items because I don't need anything. But I gave myself plants last year. I am not giving myself plants this year because I ended up getting so many that I even felt cluttered by plants. I never thought you could get cluttered by plants. I didn't know that was a thing at all. So I'm not even going to let myself get plants this year, with one exception, and that is that I really, really love, I don't know if you're able to see it, this big palm. I love that it's a feature in my living room. It's like part of the family, whereas all my other plants are just little ones. So if anything happened to this one and I didn't have a feature plant, I would say I'm allowed to replace that, but otherwise, no plants. Do not buy any plants. And I really can't think of any other exceptions to this rule because I know I've got tons of stuff in every room that meets all of my needs. The only things I can think of is if I want to cook something particular and that requires certain equipment, but then is that not being like a bit of a whim if I think, oh, I'll get that to prepare that, and then I don't end up making that meal like loads and loads of times, or whatever it is, if it's baking or something and I don't end up making it loads of times, that just feels like a waste. So I'm just saying, no household. Moving on. In makeup and beauty, I have plans to declutter my makeup because I survived with it for a year trying to use up what I had, and it turns out you don't actually use a lot of makeup in a year, even as someone who wears basic makeup to work every single day and then more sort of this sort of makeup when I film videos or if I go out and things like that. So I did not end up using a lot of makeup, and as much as I tried to use up a lot of my collection, it didn't really happen. So I'm going to allow myself, now I've struggled through for a year to declutter that now. It is really overwhelming having such a large collection. I am just ready to downsize and have a small selection of makeup now. So I will be decluttering, and then after that I'm only allowed one of each item, and it's a one in, one out replacement sort of system. So when my foundation runs out, I can buy a new one, or when my foundation is very, very low, I can at least have another one in stock, but not open it until that one runs out. One of every product, unless I keep after my declutter more than one of every product, but once it's run out, then we get the new one. No sneaky purchases like last year. I had one whole purchase of makeup. It was a concealer. Nothing like that. Literally just replacements as you need them. That goes the same with any other beauty products: shampoos, moisturizers, serums, anything. Now, clothing was a stricter area for me last year just because my wardrobe was insane. You couldn't get anything in it. I had a 3-door wardrobe, absolutely crammed, shoes all at the bottom, bags all at the top, a really big 6-drawer chest, completely full. I then have a tower chest that was also full, 4 under the bed storage boxes, a bedside table, and a suitcase. And I did a massive, massive declutter of that, and we are never going back. So I have really trained myself in the last year not to buy clothes because I don't want to get into that situation again. I have created a capsule wardrobe. I think at last count it was just under 50 pieces, if I remember correctly. I can't actually remember now. But I would like to shrink that even more. The only reason it is at the size it is now is because I am not in love with all of my clothes, and so I don't wear everything all the time. Not many of my pieces are versatile, so they can't be worn in lots of different ways with lots of different outfits. So my goal for this year is to really sort out that capsule wardrobe. I want to go thrifting. I want to buy stuff, to be honest. I want to get that capsule wardrobe to something I actually enjoy, and hopefully by doing so I will have fewer pieces because I won't feel the need to hold on to bits and pieces just in case. It will just be items I love. It will really be able to be switched around and make loads of outfits. That is my goal. So I'm freeing up clothes this year, but it does need to be sustainable clothing, ethical clothing, or secondhand. I think that's fair rules. Like, we're not going to go fast fashion. I've talked about this before. We're playing it right. And that's that. Accessories are just no. I don't need jewelry. I don't need belts. I don't need hair accessories. So literally no. Unless, you know, I get gifted any, which doesn't happen very often to me. I mean, the necklace I wear every single day. I've worn it every single day for over a year now. My dad got this for me last Christmas, as in not the one just gone, the one before. And I wear it every single day. I absolutely love it, and I don't need another necklace to replace this, so that's my necklace. Shoes, again, is pretty much a no except to replace. I wear the same pair of black ankle boots every single day to work. They are really getting scruffy and worn. If it gets to the point, you know, where there's like a hole in them or something, I will replace them. But otherwise, no shoes, only to replace. I also want to declutter my shoes. Once I've got my capsule wardrobe in a place where I'm happy with it, I'm then going to get rid of any shoes that don't coordinate to that, and there's no point me keeping. Now, food is an area I'm really going to focus on this year, or I say I will. I'm going to really try, because I didn't try hard enough last year. So as with last year, no food on the go. I was brilliant with this. Never when I was out and about did I pop into a shop for, I don't know, a coffee or a cold drink, a bottle of water, a sandwich, a snack, anything. I was really good. That didn't happen once. I mean, granted, we did have lockdown, so that probably helped, but I'm not really a food on the go sort of person. Usually when I'm out, let's say shopping, I'm there to shop. I'm there for a reason. There's something I want to get. I'm not thinking let's stop off for a drink or anything like that. So that game plan is to continue, no stopping off of food. However, planned meals, you know, going out for a meal, that's absolutely fine. I'm also going to allow myself takeout once a month. And that's just because I let myself feel really guilty the last couple of months of 2020. My husband and I, we were so exhausted after work. We did get a few takeouts every now and then. And actually it was quite enjoyable. It's nice not having to cook. It's nice to sit down to a takeout, and rather than, you know, having rushed around the kitchen and then rushing to tidy up afterwards, we could just sit and have a nice chat and a conversation. And it was just much more stress-free, and so I think actually that could be a part of my slow living, wanting to slow down. I mean, you can get takeout and still get some reasonably healthy options. So actually I'm allowing takeout once a month as something for my husband and I to actually enjoy together, especially considering, you know, the state of the UK at the minute. It's not been great, so going out to restaurants is not something that's going to be really on the cards. I went to a restaurant with 2 of my friends after, I believe it was after the first lockdown ended in the UK, and it was a great restaurant. I absolutely loved it, and I really wanted to take my husband there because it's, you know, his sort of food. He'd have really enjoyed it. And then the second lockdown happened, and then the tier system happened, and I'd never know anymore whether I'm allowed to go out or not, so I just don't go out. But we've not had those opportunities pretty much all year to go out to a restaurant. So if that's going to continue, I'm not going to say that I can't have takeout once a month as a way for me and my husband to enjoy something a little bit different for dinner. Where we are tightening the screws is the grocery shop. I know I said it last year and I did a terrible, terrible job of it, but junk food has got to stop. I've got to stop buying chocolate and cakes and ice cream and biscuits in the grocery shop because they are bad for me. It's not only that, and I don't even feel particularly guilty after eating them. It's not like a guilt thing. I genuinely feel worse in myself, like health-wise. Like if I eat a lot of junk food, I feel like a bit sick, a bit groggy, and not like sick like when you're a kid and you eat too much sweets, like not like that, like just really dull and drained. Just feel really lethargic and really drained if I eat a lot of junk food. So it's not helping myself. My biggest thing is chocolate at the minute. I just have this craving for chocolate, and every time I finish a meal, my head always goes, oh, I need something sweet. And that never used to happen to me. That's only been in the last year that started to happen. Oh, I really need something sweet. So I've got to come up with a new system for that because the snacking is getting ridiculous. I want to eat more fruit anyway, so hopefully I can get more natural sugars that way. I'm thinking apple sticks and peanut butter. I love peanut butter. So there's got to be something I can do to sort out my consumption of junk food and sugars that way. And I mean, this one's going to be easy for a while because we got loads of chocolate and biscuits and stuff for Christmas. So, you know, we've got to use all of that up anyway, and then the real challenge begins. So, we'll see. Next category is digital. That's pretty much going to be the same as last year, in that if I want a movie or a TV series, a CD, anything like that, that is absolutely fine. I can have it as long as I only buy the digital version, not a physical copy. I'm not bringing any of those things into my house. Digital copies only. I don't generally buy that many. Last year I bought 2 music albums all year. That was it. So that one shouldn't be difficult. Beauty appointments, I have made the decision. I am not going to go back to having my nails done. I had a blip in the year. This was when I got my new job, and I saw like quite a few people like had their nails done. I was like, oh, I miss getting my nails done and having like nails that actually look nice, because mine look rubbish all the time. But you know what, it's just not worth the money. So I'm not going to have my nails done. I'm not going to get any other beauty appointments. I've never really been about that anyway. I've never really been about brows and stuff like that, so that's not a problem. But I am going to give myself hair appointments back because, you know, I went 2.5 years without getting my hair done, and when I got it done, I really enjoyed it, and I've liked, you know, messing about with my hair, styling it and stuff. So if I want to, I'm going to let myself have hair appointments only. And that's it. Gifts, again, that's fine. Obviously, I can buy people gifts, but I do really think I should start to cut back. I have this overwhelming need to please others. Like, I think I come across as quite a generous person in my gift giving. With some people, I do overdo it a little bit. So whilst I still want to give them really thoughtful and lovely gifts, I think there is a way you can still do that and cut back a little bit on what you're spending. I don't need to cut back loads, like I'm quite sensible with it. I just let the generosity side get the better of me sometimes, so there's room for improvement there. So gifts are fine, just remembering to be a little bit more sensible with it. No stationery, no books. That's easy enough as it is. I do want to try and read all the books that I own, which isn't loads, but I don't have a lot of time where I actually read, so I'm really trying with that this year to get my reading game on, so we will see how we go with that. Hobbies, I can spend money in if it's a genuine hobby. None of this what I did last year where I tried a whole bunch of things on a whim just to see how it went and then didn't end up pursuing it properly and it was a waste. Like, nothing like that. If it's a genuine hobby that I already do, I already enjoy, then fair enough, I could spend money there, but no little whims. We've had it with whims. That's enough. And lastly, experiences and travel are absolutely fine. I think we've all suffered enough in 2020 that we've had, you know, travel plans cancelled. We've not been able to go to, you know, festivals, concerts, museums, theatres, whatever it is you like to do, that has been really limited. I know I didn't do anything experience-wise in 2020. As I said, I went out for a meal once with 2 of my friends. I can't think of anything else I did in a year. My holiday was cancelled. All the things sort of that you usually do in a year didn't happen. So you know what? I'm giving myself experiences, trips, days out, holidays. If any of those things come about, yes, we can do them. And that's it. And I'm so proud, by the way, that I'm still rocking this notebook a year later. It is, I'd say, 3/4 full. I am determined to use a notebook fully before moving on to the next one, and we are doing well. So that's it. Those are my no-buy rules for this year. As I said, things like clothes for my capsule wardrobe, I have freed up a little bit. Other areas I'm being more strict, like household, there is no wiggle room, none whatsoever. I'm really hoping I can stick to that and I don't, you know, go on a kitchen pots and pans rampage or something, but we'll see. In terms of future updates, I'll let you know. I think this year I'll do it more from the perspective of the items that I buy, the number of items I physically bought in the space of a year, rather than a financial side, because last year I did sort of the how much I saved by doing my no-buy, and I imagine it would be fairly similar this year. So I'm not really going to track the numbers so much, but more the amount of stuff I bring into my house. And I think we'll wrap that one up there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in another video soon. Take care, bye.